welcome back to the InScentive Collection. I be the host, Brandon, and today we are getting into some hedonistic behavior. Yes. We have The Hedonist by Nihilo. Yeah. Please forgive me if I'm saying the name wrong. I will figure it out eventually. But before we do anything, I will say that I do like the packaging of each individual decant. They come with the notes on the back, which we will read. And like I said earlier in the first video, it came super fast, but it didn't come super done. So it's a little bit flappy on the packaging, which started off as really, really cool. And then it kind of just looked like it was something that was cheap. It was kind of interesting how quickly it changed from cool to cheap. But having said all that really matters is the fragrance. And I will say they shipped at FedEx, which I thought was really, really cool. So anyway, so a lot of time here, we're gonna unsheath this thing. And look at that. All right, so it is clear. I'm hoping we can get a darker fragrance, but this one's clear. I smelled Gold Immortals earlier, and now we are looking at the Hedonist. So we're gonna get this on the other side of the wrist. Hesitant to spray two because Gold Hedonist was very, very strong. So we have the Hedonist. Takes you on a journey through the wild, untamed nature, celebrating its raw beauty, inspired by the dramatic landscapes of the power of telluric forces. It captures the essence of black stones and extreme temperatures. Each note invites you to reconnect with the earth's primal spirit, offering a sensorial experience that is both grounding and exhilarating. And this is also by Jordi Fernandez. It says the Hedonist is an uncompromising blend of cutting-edge sustainability and innovation. A zesty burst of ginger bergamot ignites the fresh energy, while cedar wood and Haitian vetiver ground the scent with strength. Musk blends seamlessly with Igala wood, leaving a deeply intoxicating, lingering signature scent. I can't read this. Bergamot, ginger, cedar wood. Okay, so in the top notes, you have bergamot and ginger. In the heart, you have cedar, alga wood. In the base, you have vetiver, musk, and tonka bean. It's written, again, over white text. Very, very difficult to read. And again, I kind of wish, it spoke to the inspiration of it, but it doesn't really do that. And I'm not smelling anything. Man, this is a skin scent. I'm going to go ahead and get this back on the wrist. This is like, what is going on here? I can barely smell it. Now, what I will say is that Gold Immortals is strong. So it might be taking up the space. Yeah, but this is super duper light. It is fresh. It is a burst of energy. But, I mean, this is $400. I can barely smell it. That's interesting. Woody, fresh spice, citrus, oud, aromatic, warm spice, and fresh. It doesn't smell unlike something I've smelled before. I like this profile. I think this smells good. Bergamot and ginger for sure. Bergamot and ginger for sure. It kind of smells like a cleaning supply. Like how astringent it is. You know how cleaning supply is kind of like abrasive at times? That's what I'm getting here. But it does smell good. I find it interesting though that the how weak it is compared to Gold Immortals. And like I said earlier in that video, I said Gold Immortals is not an unfamiliar profile, but very strong and definitely seemed to be worth the spritz. I like this more, but just because I don't really care for amber all that much, but it's so light. I don't know if I would. Now, I do like how when you look at the profile, for the fragrance on their website, how it is kind of like this green, you know, just interpretation of what you're smelling. I like that a lot. It kind of takes you into the mindset of like where it's going with it. But it's very light. And again, this is one of those fragrances that is blended very, very well. I have to give it to them. These, I mean, there are no underlying notes. It's just, they're very linear, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. And they're very, very like well constructed. They don't go all over the place, and there's no like weird like aspect of it. It's just it's just a very linear, rounded, in this particular circumstance, light. But as far as the smell goes, I do like it. It's always interesting when you have a fragrance that's like blended like this, because it's like you like it, but you don't know why per se, or at least I don't. Maybe I don't have like the palette and the verbiage to be able to explain it. I just know the composition of it smells really, really good. And I also feel like that cleaning supply aspect of it, as it's developing, is slightly going away. And it's just becoming fresher. Like at first it was kind of like, it's just becoming, I guess it's opening up a little bit is the better way to say it. But it smells good. Yeah, I like this. I like this a lot, actually. Hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna have to read into this a little bit more and educate myself. This is a little bit beyond my capability to describe, which is interesting and refreshing, because I like it, but I can't really explain why I like it. And I think that's just because it's blended so solidly. There is a freshness to it, but it's not like a pine fresh. It's kind of like a sparkling sour fresh. It's a kind of a sour fragrance, like a pucker sour, not like a taste, if that makes sense. Yeah, this is beautiful. I mean, the more I smell, the more I become acclimated to it. And I think it's also opening up. Yeah, I keep smelling it, which is like the golden, approval. If I keep smelling, that means it's good stuff. At least in my. Hmm. Musk, vetiver. Yeah, it's got a lot of earthy. It talks about being grounded, right? Grounding and exhilarating. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. This is good stuff. This is good stuff. All right. Yeah. Well, that is it for this review. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below of the house, and how you say it. Nilo. I don't know. But thanks for watching. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.